What up, dude? And welcome to the Free for All Friday Proud Nation Family Mock Draft. Val, it's on you, but let me bring in Val. First of all, Queen of the Proud, good morning. How are you today?
I am doing so well today. This is going to be so much fun. You guys, this is our second year of our family mock draft. I have brought the chaos this time around. We are throwing all the rules out the window. You guys voted, and the panel will be making the picks. So, the fate of the Detroit Lions is now in the hands of the football gods. So, Curt, I hope to God you're making that first pick today, baby. So may the odds ever be in your favor, my friend. You are the tribute today.
It's already some bullshit. All right, what's going on?
He says already some bullshit. You say you already know what it is.
I already know what it is.
What's going on, family? Listen, had so much fun doing the battle of the mock drafts yesterday. Definitely got to do another for the draft come around. But look, I'm happy to be here, do this draft, and I'm finna really upset the masses with a lot of my picks because I believe that my picks make sense. They make sense. They have to make sense. And so we're gonna see how y'all feel about it. Don't at me though. Just don't at me.
Yeah. It's here. We're less than a month away from the actual draft. So, all right, Val, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get this thing rolling.
All right, you guys. Here's the thing. You guys voted on the players and the positions, and I have brought with me a deck of numbered cards. And since the Detroit Lions only have 8 picks, well, I brought 11. So some of these positions the Lions need, some of them they don't. So this is going to, there are no repeats. There are no doubles in here. There are no trades. You're going to get what you get. And whoever you don't get at the end of the draft will reveal this information. So let's get this thing started, shall we? Let this bullshit begin.
Yep.
With the 2023 number 6 pick in the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions select Curt. Give me a number between 1 and 11.
Let's go 4. That's my number 4.
We are going 4. Who is number 4? Let's see. Dun, 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 drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. This is the number 4 card. Who is behind it? Dun, 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 dun. Jack Campbell, we get a linebacker from Iowa.
I would not have picked him. No,
I know it's not real, but my blood pressure already up. This is the bullshit has already started.
It's already started. I mean, I like Jack Campbell. He's a good pick in the second round, but I wouldn't take. But you know what?
But you picked 4. You could have picked any other number, man. You could have went number 1.
4 is my number, man. I like 4. I like 14. 4 is my basketball number. 14 is my football number, my birthday. So we're gonna go stick with number 4. My grandbaby was born on the 4th of November, so the oldest one. So 4 was Jack Campbell, linebacker, Iowa. That's what we got.
Now, if you don't like this pick, now you got to give us your best Bobby Boucher quote.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm gonna set that.
He's like, I don't want to quote Bobby Boucher.
Nope, I'm good. We go with that one.
All right, so we've got a linebacker at number 6. Well, that makes me happy because you know why? Linebackers' lives matter, people. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Luke, you're up. This is the number 18th pick. The Detroit Lions are on the board with the 2023 number 18th pick in the NFL draft. The Detroit Lions select, pick a number. Luke.
I'm a big fan of double digits. All the numbers I wore in football were double digits. So I'm going with 11.
11.
You're going with
Isaiah. He going with Isaiah Thomas number. Zeke.
Ooh, who is at number 11? I have the number 11 card right here. Who is behind it? Bijan Robinson, running back,
y'all thank
Arizona.
me. Yeah, thank me later. Thank me later. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta buy me no beer, but I damn sure take an ice water. Thank me later.
Hey, that's a good pick. That is that one. Yeah, but yeah, I like the Bijan Robinson pick. I like the Bijan Robinson pick. Even with David Montgomery and Arizona, Bijan Robinson's from Texas. Bijan Robinson's from Texas.
Listen. Listen. She might have had a few edibles this morning. Leave her alone, okay? Yeah. Leave her alone.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us right here on the mock draft, man, on Detroit Lions, on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with all your friends and family so this content can get to more Lions fans just like yourself. And make sure you go over to Fanatics.com. The draft caps are out. Mine will be here actually probably during the telecast, so it'll be delivered. I will debut it on Monday's show, so make sure you come back on Monday and check out the new draft cap. The stone with it's the low brow, the low build, the low crown one. So you know me, that's my favorite. That's my favorite silhouette. But what we got next, Val? Next one's with me. So if he took 11,
let's see. We have it's round 2 now, number 48.
Number 48
in the 2023 NFL draft, the Detroit Lions.
So
select.
I am going to take I'm gonna double up and go from 4 to 8. 8. That's my son.
Why do I feel like you did us dirty with this one? I feel like you just did us real dirty with this one.
Did I? Me?
I feel like 8 don't feel like a good number.
All right, Proud Nation fan.
You feel like 8 is not a good number, Luke, right? You feel like 8's not a good number?
That's my daughter's birthday, my son's birthday, both born on the 8th of the month.
I feel like he played us with the 8.
Well, let's see.
All right,
what's behind the card? Jalen Carter,
defensive lineman, Georgia. Hey.
Okay.
He won't be there at 48, but yeah, I'll take that one.
I mean, yeah, he definitely won't be there at no 48, but I definitely ride with that if that was a possibility. If that happened, I would be shocked. But there's no way he'll make it all the way out of the first round.
He ain't making it out of the.
You know what? 10. It's our fantasy. We get the players whenever we want them. Damn it. It's our fantasy.
Well, that wasn't quite my fantasy. My fantasy had a few other things going on, but if that's what you want to call it, we'll accept it.
But you remember now, 8's not a good number now, Luke. So
8, but 8. Hey man, 8. What's that? 8 away there. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, okay, it's okay. It's all right. All right, I'm ready. I know what number I'm going with.
All right, we are at number 55 in round 2, Luke. When the 2023 NFL draft, the Detroit Lions select.
You know, I always heard that luck be a lady when you go 7 and 11, so I'm gonna go with the 7 on this one.
Okay, 7.
Ooh, 7, huh?
That's probably gonna be some
7 is my favorite number. So who's behind that? Of course,
Christian Gonzalez.
Quarterback.
All I'm doing,
Oregon, we get my baby.
All I'm doing is addressing offense and defense. Like I said, y'all don't, I'm not saying I can see the answers, but my heart says I can see the answers,
Yeah, because these guys don't know what's behind these picks. I scrambled this deck. So you had no idea that number 7 is my favorite number.
She's Gonzo for Gonzalez. So that's that was gonna be right there at the top.
So we've got a lot of defense going on here. Definitely. No offense so far.
Definitely. Hey, make sure you hang out with us, man.
We got a running back.
Yeah, we did. Make sure you check out.
We got the running back. Yeah.
On Lions Nation Unite. Make sure you check out what they got going on over there in their app, in the Google, Android, or Apple App Store, or go to the LionsNationUnite.com, or definitely check out what they got going on over there on their Facebook groups, man. They're doing a whole bunch of things over there at Lions Nation Unite. It's the ultimate virtual hangout for Detroit Lions fans. And go to LNUshop.com to get yourself some LNU gear. Get the real stuff over there at shop.com, not the fake stuff that's going around on either.
Hey, Curt, you got a lot of feedback. You got a lot of feedback. I can hear you echoing.
Nah, it's not me.
Yeah, I don't hear him echoing.
Yeah, I'm going through a soundboard, so it won't. It ain't me echoing. That might be something. It ain't me. Yeah. There we go.
I don't know if nobody else can hear it, but I can hear it. I'm on mute, trying to figure out who it is, but I'm on mute.
Yeah, because
I'm not echoing. I don't think.
I have headphones in, so I can't be me. All right, so all right, Val, let's go. Next up, what we got? Let me see.
Where are we at? We are in round 3, right? We are round 3.
Yep.
Number 81 in the 2023 the NFL draft. The Detroit Lions select.
It's on me. I'm gonna go with number 1.
You're gonna go with number 1. Ooh, who is behind the number 1 card? Here is the number 1 card. Let's see. Quentin Johnson, wide receiver, TCU.
Okay.
You know, there's a very few times that I ever decided to load up my crack pipe, and this might be the moment right here. This listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be livid if the Lions take a receiver in this draft and it's anything within like the first few rounds. I shouldn't see a receiver until like the 6th.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a little early for him, but okay. Well, wide receiver.
Okay, well, if you don't like it, you got to give me your favorite Big Bobby Boucher quote.
Okay. What is that? What is that? Let me see. What did he say? Oh, it ain't me. It ain't my pick. Was it my pick? Yeah, it was my pick, right?
Curt having a senior moment.
Yeah, it is my pick. I had to make sure it was me. I'm like, shit, make sure I'll get my quote right. Vicky Valiquette, let me see her boobies, and I liked it.
Of all the things, that's the one.
That one.
Of all the things.
Of all the ones that he could say.
Yep.
It's the boobies one.
It's the boobies one.
Oh, good Lord. Mama said.
Man, Mama said. Man. Yep. So, all right. So.
All right, Luke, you're up. Round 5.
Wait a minute. Then if I gave my quote, do I pick again? You said I gotta give him a quote, right? So if I didn't like that,
no, you said give your quote if you don't like it. But
okay.
If you don't
all
like
right,
it,
Luke, you up, Luke.
Okay, Luke. With 152 in round 5, in the 2023 NFL draft, the Detroit Lions select.
I'm gonna keep my trend of going with my odd numbers, and I'm going to say number 3.
Number 3. Who is behind number 3? Ooh, this is interesting. Dun, 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 dun. Brian Branch, safety, Alabama.
Man, we having a hell of a draft, ain't we?
You know what? I mean, if you just think about it, it's almost like I got X-ray vision. I'm not saying that I do, but it's almost like I do. Just want to put it out there.
Luke out there tooting his horn. Toot toot. Okay.
All right.
Oh my gosh. So we are doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good.
We're doing good.
So we are at the final stretches here. 2 more picks.
All right. Hey, make sure you guys check us out on DetroitLionsOnTheProd.com, man. And make sure you go to LionsOnTheProdShop.com. Get yourself some Prowl Nation gear, man. All of your favorite. Oh, we lost Luke. All your favorite gear, especially all the shirts that my man Jim used to wear back in the day. So go over to LionsOnTheProdShop.com to get yourself some Prowl Nation gear. All right, Val. We said it's on me or him. No, it was on Luke, right? Yeah,
it was on Luke, so we're gonna have to wait a second to see if Luke comes back.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys for checking me out over there at SideLion Report. I appreciate you guys reading my articles, and thank you guys for supporting and just supporting us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and giving us the support and love that you have been for the last few years. So thank you guys so much for that. All right.
Okay, so We're going to recap real quick because some of the people came in a little late, so they don't know what the picks are. So our first number 6 pick is Jack Campbell, linebacker. The 18th pick is Bijan Robinson, Arizona. Excuse me.
Dude's from Texas.
Is he from Texas?
He is from the University of
I
Texas.
thought he said Arizona. Anyway, anywho, okay, and then we had Jalen Carter
From Georgia.
We had Christian Gonzalez.
Gonzo for Gonzalez.
We have Quentin Johnson, wide receiver.
TCU.
And we have Brian Branch, safety. That's who we have so far in our mock draft. Well, Curt, you're just going to have to make the pick since Luke is apparently not being able to come back here. So we'll just have you make the last couple picks.
Okay.
So with the number 183 pick in the NFL draft,
I'm going to take
Lions
number 5.
Number 5. Who is number 5? Oh, I think I gave away my hand on one of them. Okay, because I held the cards backwards. Number 5. Will Anderson,
edge. Man, we getting all the good players, man. I would love to get Will Anderson in this draft, him or Jalen Carter. That will be, you know what I'm saying, either one of them will be a really good upgrade to our defense. You look at him. Okay, here comes Luke G right now. Luke G,
my apologies.
I took your pick and I picked number 5, and it was Will Anderson from Alabama.
You stay with the odd numbers, and you was a smart man. I was going with 5 anyway, so good job. Good job. I was going with all the odds at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to realize a pattern here. If you want greatness, go with the oddballs. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's I got Will Anderson. So yeah, the oddballs.
Well, okay then, Luke, because we've got 4 cards left. There is one odd number,
which is 9.
So
there's only one left is 9.
Pick, number 194. Who is it going to be?
You know what? I'm going to change it up this time because my soul says that, I've been riding the odd wave. I'm going to go with 2 this time.
You are going with 2. Who is at number 2? Number 2 is Jake Moody.
Not Moody. We got a kicker.
You got
But
Moody
if you think about it, hold on. But if you think about it, not only did I give us a draft that could work, I messed around and got them in positions that possibly could work. A kicker with our last pick, nailed it. I'm not saying that I'm psychic, but I'm saying in case you thought about it that I may be, but I'm not saying that I am.
I ain't saying.
So do you like Jake Moody at 6? Or at the last pick?
I mean, I personally would take the Georgia kicker over him, but that's just me.
Okay, well then you gotta give me your best Bobby Boucher quote.
Something wrong with your medulla oblongata. Yeah. I'm just for the hell of it, right? Yeah. I think if I repick and I didn't take 2, I would have took 10.
You would have took 10?
I would have took 10. I'd have still went with the even number just for the hell of it.
Who was number 10?
So let's see who would have been behind this card, because we didn't get him. But so who is behind it?
Donnell Washington. Ooh, that's a big
see how I'm out here doing it. I heard. You know what? Let me tell you something, people. Listen,
that is a big brother.
I want to take the moment to thank, all the powers to be. I'm not saying that I got X-ray vision, but if I did, I certainly, wouldn't use it to cheat the game. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying I do.
That's a big human right there. He's
big and he's slow.
Tell us what you think of today's mock draft so far. While we released the last, who did we not get?
Okay, 9.
Can you
Let's look
take
at
a
9.
guess who we did not get?
Let's see, 9.
We have
probably
69 here,
Van
by the way, which is really funny as hell.
That is very funny. That is very funny.
I think Cassie is on that.
Probably Anthony Richardson out of Florida, probably the quarterback or something like that. So who's at 6?
I think at 6, I think it's Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker, probably.
You think 6 is Hendon Hooker?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you think 6 is Hendon Hooker? This is 6.
That's what I think.
You were right.
Hendon Hooker. Yep. Yep. You're right.
I'm not saying I'm psychic.
That was the quarterback. Okay. So
now,
who is at 9?
Osiris Torrance out of Florida, guard.
You think the people want the guard?
I'm looking at the positions because I voted, so I'm thinking of the people that I voted.
Yeah, because Curt was paying attention to the voting process. He knows who's behind.
I think it's Osiris Torrance out of Florida, the guard.
I'm going to guess
Osiris Torrance.
See.
Because I was paying attention to the voting process. I was.
Curt was really paying attention to the voting process. He didn't know where the cards would lie, but he knew.
Because I voted too.
That's exactly why I did this mess. That's exactly why I mixed this shit up because I knew your ass would be looking real hard at them at this voting.
Because I'm always on social media. Because I voted on Facebook, I voted on Twitter, and I voted on YouTube. So I voted on all the platforms. So I make sure I'm paying attention. How can I host how can I host and pick these people? And if I don't know who I'm picking, so. But thank you guys, man. That was fun. Definitely a little bit.
So
different.
we got a linebacker, we got a running back, we got a defensive lineman, we've got a cornerback, we've got a wide receiver, we've got a safety, an edge, and a kicker.
But really, besides the kicker, I don't think anybody that we pick will make it out of the second round.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think none of those guys make it out of the second round. But it is our mock draft. It's not their mock draft, and we can pick whoever we want to pick whenever we want to pick them. And you guys voted for our Prowl Nation family, so it is what it is. Thank you guys for doing that, man. That was fun, definitely. Let's talk a little bit of a free agency because we haven't talked with Luke G, man. You were talking about some people. Let me know what you thought about the free agents that we picked up. Because you were talking about some stuff off air about who your favorite guys were.
Yeah, my number one hands down is David Montgomery. Like I don't think people understand how much he terrorized us, and I think that people are going to fall in love with him just as much. He's not going to do as much talking and all the anime stuff as Jamal, but he's 100% better. I thought the pickup of Chauncey Gardner was a good pickup. That's probably the most quality defensive player he's added in free agency his entire time being a general manager here. But I do got concerns with him because, like I said, he has never played a full season. I absolutely hated bringing back Isaiah Buggs. I hated bringing back Jalen Reeves-Maybin. I don't really, to me, the Marvin Jones pick is an okay pick, but this is what Brad Holmes does. He get quality picks to the offense and disrespects the defense, and then expects for us to just make it work. The Cam Sutton pick, I think Lions fans have lost their damn mind in terms of how hyping they are over him and how they hyping him up. In the same way they're hyping up Mosley. I'm like, they're much of the same in a lot of regards in terms of what other players were. Like, to me, what makes Sutton any better than Mike Hughes? What makes Mosley any better than, say, Okuda or any of them other people? Like, I just think we want new blood and we're excited about it, and that's cool. But for me, I'm still trying to figure out where this over $110 million was spent in free agency.
Who the hell spent over $110 million in free agency? Who the hell spent that?
The Lions.
How? I'm doing the math. I don't see $110 million. I don't see that.
If you go to over the cap,
either. Where are you getting that money from, Luke?
If you go to over the cap and you look at free agent spending right now, we're over 110 million.
That's not right. That can't be right. Unless we're talking about the voided years and stuff like that, because that ain't counting against the salary cap this year.
No. We talking about just what we talking about. We're not talking about the salary cap. We talking about what he spent in free agency.
That don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. But okay, I mean,
over the cap has been very accurate in their numbers.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I guess I'm looking at what's counted against the cap this year. So maybe I'm looking at it differently. But I don't know what metric they're using to get the $110 million. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, I don't understand the metric. So I mean, it could be accurate, but I don't know what they're using as the measurement.
They are including any free agent that you sign.
Any free agent that we sign. Is it including all the years added up with the length of the contract? I'm not understanding what the.
You had to go to the Over the Cap website. If you go to Over the Cap and then you go to the bottom of the screen where it says free agent signing, it'll break it down to you.
But because I mean, I'll check it out. But I don't understand the math. But it's all. I mean, I don't see that. I don't see $110 million. But I mean, I guess I have to check it out myself. But the CJ Gardner-Johnson thing, you know, I like what he brings to the defense. Okay, well, he'll be back in a second. He's one of those guys. He brings versatility to the back of that defense. He brings an edge that we needed on that defense. He's a tough, gritty player. He has that smash that he talks a lot of trash, and I just like what he brings to our defense. The versatility he brings to the back end of our defense. And I get what you're saying, Luke. You know, he hasn't played a full season, but a lot of players don't play a lot of full seasons. But him coming in healthy, and I think it brings a rotational piece. Like, you can rotate him in. He can play he can play in the box. You can put him in the back end. Say if one of those two guys, if Kirby or Tracy go down for a minute, you know, he's just one of the guys you can plug him. You can plug him wherever you need him, you know what I'm saying? So I like the versatility he brings to that back. And same with Sutton, too. I think Sutton brings that as well. I'm not, what do you call that? I like some of the versatility he brings. I get he's not the, what do you call that? He was one of the best corners in that defense in Pittsburgh, but he wasn't the one that was like lined up versus the number one wide receiver. So I you know, that probably is not going to be his role here. I still think the Lions are going to draft a corner for that role. So, you know, I still think that they're going to draft a corner. You look at the guys that we have, and when we only got those two of those free agent signings are only a year.
You got
one year deal. Yeah, so you got two guys.
You can't count Mosley. Like, this is the thing that people don't realize.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you hopefully we getting him back. He's on track to be ready for opening day, but I mean, we'll see. He's not going to be ready for, you know, OTAs or anything like that. He's probably not going to be, you know, a full go to probably closer to training camp. So if you look at that, that's why I'm still not convinced that the Lions don't take a corner in this draft. You know, I'm still thinking, because you need that young presence that's going to be on the roster for a while. So that's why I'm thinking that the Lions are going to take a cornerback in this draft. I think the Lions are going to take a defensive tackle in this draft. You look at those two, and I think the Lions are going to take a linebacker in this draft. You know, for some reason they like the motherfuckers they got, but but look, we talked about this, and I've said this before, and I've said this off camera, and I've said it in the Governors meeting. We as fans and we as content creators, we say what the Lions should do, and the Lions don't give a shit what we think they should do, Brad. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It's one of those things where Brad Holmes is who he is, and he's going to draft who he wants to draft. He's going to sign who he wants to sign, and it is what it is. We may not agree sometimes, and we might question it, but at the end of the day, we've seen the results that we want. Probably not as fast as we want them to, but we have seen progress. We went from 3 wins to 9 wins. So that's 6 total wins. I think we should have had more wins that first year, but it is what it is. We started off rough last year, but if we can start off on pace this year and not start off slow, we can have a double-digit win season this year.
Yeah, I think for me, like, my criticism with Brad Holmes comes from the fact of just saying to myself, look, if you were to just look at this team with the most simplest glass and say, what is the weakest part of this team, you will argue is defense. And I'm just trying to figure out, when are you seriously going to address the defense? I don't want to hear this, I don't value linebacker BS, and I got to watch teams run 241 yards down your throat in the half. I don't want to hear about this. You know what I mean? Like you're never going to hear about the Ravens giving up 241 yards in the half. You're not going to hear that of Russia. So I'm just, for me, that's my concern. And I think when looking at the players, what I've noticed, what our fans have done is they have hyped up everything he's done. He can't do no wrong. You know, it's the best way I can explain it is it's like being on Family Feud and you know your family member said a dumb answer, but you can't help but to say good answer because you don't want them to look stupid on TV. So you just go, good answer. That's a good answer, but it's not. And the reality is I think when it comes to our free agency, we were hyped about last year's free agency, and we watched us go 1-6 because the defense was exactly what I thought it was going to be. And when you look at the money spent, we spent more money on our offense. We put more resources on our offense. He has made it an assertive effort to build the world's greatest offense, and he has neglected the defense, and that's been my criticism. I agree with you about Chauncey Gardner because I think they're going to give him a chance to earn his contract, and then they're going to tell Tracy Walker it's been fun. Like, I think that's what they're going to do. And I feel like Gardner can prove himself and make him a little money on top of that. But to me, I'm with you. They got to add another cornerback. This whole hype about Mosley being that guy, stop it. Stop it. I had to hear the same debate about Chris Board, and I kept telling people Chris Board wouldn't start nowhere else. And apparently he can start on Detroit. So, you know, it just is what it is.
Mosley was a starter before he got injured. So he was a starter before he got injured out in San Francisco because because they got 2 cornerbacks. They got 2 defensive backs with the Ward, I believe. One of the Wards was a starter, and the other Ward came in for when Mosley went out. So no, I'm talking about Board, Chris Board. The Lions added. No. I'm saying like for Mosley, he was the starter before he got injured. That's all I'm saying. Well, Board wasn't.
No. But see, my thing with Mosley is people don't realize something. If you go and you look at that defense, there are people you need to be concerned with, aka Bosa. You got to be concerned with certain people like that. And I don't necessarily believe that we have that. I don't think we have those defensive players that you need to be concerned with. We have defensive players who did good, but not people that you got to be concerned with.
I mean,
we all know that Luke likes ketchup and marshmallow peeps on his pizza. But
I mean, listen, first of all, it's a delicate taste, and do not ever judge my palate. And secondly, okay, secondly, ketchup is no different than pizza sauce. It's just a tomato, okay?
It's just a tomato, okay.
With sugar, more sugar.
Look, I'm not worried about what they've done in free agency at this point. I do want to make sure that they address this defense again in this draft because if they don't, I'm going to lose my shit, okay? Because there's so much that needs to be addressed. But as far as those guys, look, as a GM, Brad Holmes is going to walk into draft day with some of those needs sort of met, so you to kind of play your hand, so you don't know what he's actually going to do, which is kind of a strategy in some systems, and this is what I'm saying that Brad Holmes is walking in doing. But because hey, we all know the Lions need a cornerback, but if they've addressed the cornerback situation in the free agency, it's sort of kind of with some upgrades, he may or may not go at cornerback where you think he might go.
But so this is the thing. This is the thing for me, and I think where I get confused at is the term upgrade. You can say we improved, right? But my attitude to it is if you go from
improvement and upgrade are like synonyms.
But I look at it a little bit different because for me, an upgrade insists that I completely upgraded, right? So, like, for example, if I dated a girl who was toxic, and I get a girl who's not, that's not no damn improvement. That's an upgrade. I've completely changed and reshifted the trajectory of that relationship for me and the person. But when I see an improvement is what I see from us with the Lions, where I feel like, yeah, we had a 75 on the test. We got a 76. We improved, but it's still a C grade. That's how I see it.
I get your creating his own dictionary, but still.
But if you look at, for me, if you look at what the Lions have done in free agency, well, at least with two of the signings, they looked at, they had I think they did improve or upgrade the secondary. Look at the guys that we're you look at a Cameron Sutton and you look at a Mike Hughes. Cameron Sutton is an upgrade over Mike Hughes. That's an upgrade. You look at Deshaun Elliott. You look at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That's a Carter.
But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson ain't playing safety.
If we're talking about a safety for me, but he's coming to Detroit as a safety. But that's what they signed him as. So we don't know.
They may have signed him as that, but he ain't finna take the. Okay, so if he's taking the starting spot, you telling me him and who's going to be the starting safeties?
It'll be him and Tracy Walker.
Look, the Detroit Lions could draft a brown paper bag from Aldi's to replace Jeff Okudah, and that would be an upgrade.
You're so stupid. I'm not messing
but that's my point. If it's so, like I said, it's an improvement, but it's not like an upgrade. Like, I get what y'all saying.
I'll say,
but it's just.
I think I get what your train thinking is. Okay, what Luke is saying. Okay, if you have a car, right? So you have a let's say if you have a Ford Bronco, right? So you have the Ford Bronco, you add the whatever package to it, and you get the better tires on it. But then you want to upgrade to their whatever the Raptor edition of it. That's an upgrade. That's the fully loaded one. So that's
exactly.
So
exactly.
An improvement is you added the tire package. That's an improvement. But you upgraded when you went to the Raptor edition. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Like you can go and get a Dodge Charger. Mm-hmm. But it ain't the same as that Hellcat. You know what I mean? It ain't the same as that 8. That 4. If I said that 4 and 6 cylinder ain't gonna hit like that 8. It's just not the same.
Was as bad as that secondary was last year. Anything you add to this team is an upgrade.
To me, I think that if you look at the players that's not going to be here, like, to me, I'd even say this: even with his ass hurt, the way that Amade Warrior played last year, hell, Mosley's an upgrade over Amade Warrior last year. Mr. lining up 2 yards offsides. That's an upgrade to me. I don't know what Amade Warrior problem was last year, and I wish him well at the Giants. But you went from a guy who led the team in interceptions one year to a guy that was like, I don't know he was a head scratcher the last year. So
I think he was playing hurt.
You think he was playing hurt? Don't get you lined up 2 yards off sides.
I think it do when you're trying to overcompensate and you already listening to the noise on the outside. The biggest downfall for him is listening to the outside noise, and then you got your coaches probably. Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, like there a lot of times these, we don't think about the human side of what these players are. We just look at them as robots. They go and they play, but they watched our news and stuff, man. Hey, I had a football player's wife coming at me, right? Like, where the hell did she come from? And so I'm like, okay, but I ain't tell no lie about your husband. So tell me when I'm wrong at. And so he was not a starter in this league. He went to, and to this day, the only place he's been a starter at is Detroit. That's just another story. But anyway, I'm just saying, when you look at it, I think he was going through a lot. And that's what I'm saying. When I look at these players and we talk about upgrades, we talking about somebody that's going to be able to compete fully and change the trajectory of it. I got concerns for Sutton. I got concerns for Mosley, right? I'll have concerns for certain people. And again, I know people think like, oh, you never happy. I am happy. I'm just objective. I'm done with just drinking the Kool-Aid for the sake of saying, if I stay positive, it's going to be positive. It's probably not.
You know what though? I'll say this. I'm not where you are at. I'm not where you're at.
I'm not concerned with them being added to this team right now, because they're not going to be the future of the team in the first place. They're going to where the future of the team is in the draft.
Yeah, I think the one player, and I have to agree with Luke. I think the one player that could be a player that could play in the future in Detroit is Gardner Johnson, because how young he is. He's only 25 years old. He can play his way into a longer term deal in Detroit. That's the one guy that we signed in the secondary. I'm like, okay, we can get him for a longer deal. He can play his way into that role. I'm not confused with Sutton. You know what I'm saying? Sutton's a good role player. He's not the second coming of a lockdown. He ain't the second coming of Deion Sanders. He plays his role. He's a smart player, and he knows his role on the defense. So that's what I like about him. He plays smart. He has some downsides. He's not really that, great in one-on-one coverage on the outside against a fast receiver. You can put him on a number 2. That's where he would shine more in our defense. You know what I'm saying? I understand
and that Curt is the conversation that need to be had. Which you just said is how it should be spent, but they're not spending it that way. They're making it seem like he's just going to come in and just be a shutdown corner. They had this same hype.
No,
with Okuda. That's not it.
Yeah, if you look at him and how he played at Pittsburgh, he was not on the number 1 receiver most of the time. He was either locked up in the slot or he was with a number 2, the number 2 receiver. So I know what his role was. I mean, and that's why I said that's why I'm still thinking about what the Lions are going to do. And that's why I still think we draft a corner. And I think we draft.
But are the Lions projecting him that way, or the Lions fan base projecting him that way?
The Lions fan base is projecting him as the next coming of Deion Sanders. The Lions themselves are they know the role he's going to play, and they're
fans
paying
are so
him.
Desperate for anything that they will make him. Grandma Mosley fucking.
As a Lions fan, I want us to win, and I want us to win soon. But you have to be objective. See, my job is to be objective. My heart doesn't have to be objective. My mind has to be objective.
Facts. Facts. And that's again. I'm not. People accuse me of being negative. I'm not being negative, because every time that people say I'm being negative, what I'm complaining about, that they want to call it a complaint, it comes to fruition. I told people, I said, don't hype me up on this free agency, because I don't know if we did enough. And I said, I don't feel like we did enough, and this defense still concerns me. We go 1-6. Everybody screams, fire Dan Campbell, a coach who has an offense that's number 1 in scoring. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, right? And we did make some improvements. That's the second half of the season coming down the stretch, and we beat some teams. Some of the games our defense played well. Some of the things it was the offense outscoring the other offense. So you have to look at it as what it was. But I think that the
one of my favorite narratives that's been going on in social media this week is this BS. It's the thing about defense, winning championships. It's that kind of thing. Defense no longer wins championships. Quarterbacks win Super Bowls. But your quarterback ain't doing shit without a fucking defense. So,
well,
take it to that.
You have the top two defenses in the Super Bowl, and they ain't do shit in the Super Bowl. That was all offense. That you look at what Philly did. And
but they were top defenses against each other. They're going to cancel each other out that way, like that.
Well,
but you still have to have them there. If you had a shit ass fucking defense, you're going to get your ass beat.
I mean, but you got. I think what I'm saying is that you had the 2 top defenses in the NFL playing the Super Bowl, and they couldn't stop the other team's offense.
That's not true. Not entirely true. I think you had to look at how the offense of the Eagles got them where they were. And you had to look at what Kansas City did to neutralize that. When they took away that ability to constantly run with the quarterback, it got real. That we want to keep designing plays to run the quarterback, and we're gonna stop that.
You make adjustments.
And so, but my thing is this. I think that what we can't do is get caught up in this idea that, you want to build this offense, because we had a top offense and we still struggle because we gave up more points. And so my thing is I'm not even asking for us to have the world's greatest defense. I'm not even asking for that. I'm asking for you to finally touch it. Because what you've been doing is you've been buying our defense on a discount price and telling them that, hey, I know you're not Michael Jackson, but I need you to dance and sing like Michael Jackson. And what he did was he went out and hired Tom Petty to do this, and that's why I'm getting upset with it, because I'm like, when are you going to really address the problems that we have? He has invested so much into the offense, and I'm not talking about low end. He spent some real money on that offense. He has not spent real money on the defense.
I think we have like the second or third most expensive offensive line in the NFL.
Yep.
We do. I mean, we do. I mean, but it showed last year. You look at it, we were like, we give up the least amount of sacks last year. You look at the numbers that that Jared Goff put up last year. It showed that even the rushing numbers improved. I mean, that was one of the best rushing years that we've had in Detroit in forever. You look at the numbers. You had over 1,000-yard rusher and Jamal Williams, and solid numbers from the backup guys. So I like what we did on the offensive line. I like our offensive line.
But see, we never had that.
Yeah, we haven't had that in a long time. We haven't had an offensive line that.
And I like that too. But you know what else? Know what else I discovered, Curt and Vale? I went through and I looked at the money spent, the least amount of money spent thus far on defense, and where the teams are ranked. You know who's number one?
Who was that?
The Rams.
The Rams?
Yep. You know who's number two?
Who? Lions?
The Detroit Lions. Yeah. This shit should not be happening. It should not be happening.
You look at it like this, man, and I think that the money he spent. Now I'm saying he bought out and bought a boat, and bought saying flip flops for everybody, but they did make some of the effort to improve the secondary, and I think that they're going to put themselves in a position that they can address the defense and get younger and get more pieces on the defense in the draft.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that.
You already beefed up your offense. What else do you have left to focus on?
Yeah, all it is defense.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. He's still focusing on the offense. Make no mistake about it. And then two, he does need to add another guard. So I'm not going to act like offense can't be touched, right?
Okay.
But my thing is I need more high quality defensive players. Like that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for him to do anything other than give me a team that can have a fair shot. I believe I had the Lions winning 10 games last year, and I said, but they can easily go as high as 12. But it's the defense that I'm worried about. And I know a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, it's not the same." Since I've been on YouTube doing this thing, I have screamed and hollered over and over. You need to run the ball. You need to start to build up your defense. You need to build up the offensive line. Everything that I said we need to do, when they do it, we win. When we run the ball, we win. And these things that I have said over and over, which sounds like it's dated, I'm like, no, it's history. History tells you that. And I just look at us as a whole with the moves that we have made, the ones that we're talking about and the ones we're not talking about. I just think that overall that we need to do a little bit more to make it to where that defense is in that middle of the pack versus being dead last.
I think that and I think that from what we added on the defense, and I think we a few more pieces because and here's the deal, free agency is not over. You know what I'm saying? You look at it, this is like the first couple of waves. You have a lot of time that the free agency, even after we look at the cut downs. So free agency really lasts all the way up until the season starts. You look at it like that. Like after the cut downs, you're still gonna have a lot of players that are going to be available that are still out there. So maybe some trades that we got some more cap space. So I don't think that everything is over with. This team is not finished building, and you look at the draft. So we're not done yet. So
yeah, I'm with you on this one, Curt. Because here's the thing. Look, this is not the time to be spending the money right now when free agency. You got the draft coming. Get the draft guys go. You get the new guys in, and then you're going to be sitting here monkeying with different contracts. You're going to be switching up these contracts. You're going to be getting rid of players. You're going to be adding more players in, and it's not. This is not going to matter.
Yeah, it's.
And at the end of the day,
right now,
free agency doesn't freaking matter.
Yeah, at the I think that we have enough time to where it's not over with and it's going to happen. One player we haven't talked about a little bit, and I'm not saying that he's gonna come in and really like set the world on fire, but I do like the addition of Marvin Jones coming back. He's a good possession receiver. He's that third option. He's a veteran presence in that locker room and on that wide receiver core. People are all up, oh, that makes no sense. But if you look at the guys that we had behind our starter guys, weren't that great. After you go Williams, Reynolds, St. Brown, I'm like, man, who the hell we got? Cephas, who hasn't played a full season in the NFL. Then you have Alexander, the guy that came over from the USFL. And then you had Barry Hill. I mean, you got the little guy in Khalif Raymond, but they're going to kind of stick with him as special teams. But we needed that. We needed that guy who is going to be that. We're not paying him to come in to be a starter and set the world on fire, but he's that veteran presence in the locker room, and he adds an element that that I like as far as being a possession type of receiver. He has great hands. You know, he's not the down the field threat that he used to be, but he's better than what we had as far as the depth chart on the wide receiver room.
I like Marvin
Do you think Jones is going to mentor J-Mo, or J-Mo going to mentor Jones?
No, Vel, don't start it, Vel. Please don't start it. This damn fan base is going to go nuts. This whole idea of people mentoring people, I'm going to tell you something. Here go the real world. I'm not training you to do my damn job. I'm not. If I got an opportunity to do the job, I'm taking the job. I'm not training you to do my job. Brett Favre said it best. It ain't my job to prepare him for shit. I ain't got to prepare him for nothing. And I'm serious. It's a reality. Everybody's in there trying to fight. There's only so many people who can start. And I want the starting spot. So why am I trying to train you to take my spot? No, I'm not doing that.
No, you come in, you play a role. And Dan Spanos, Tom Superman Kennedy is a practice squad player who had an opportunity to play. But Tom Kennedy, he's one of those guys that just happened to catch on with Detroit. If he wasn't in Detroit, he wouldn't be in the league anymore. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Tom Kennedy he stayed in Detroit, and the change of these practice squad rule players kept him in Detroit, got him on the active roster for last year because of all of the injuries. But Tom Kennedy isn't a guy who he wouldn't be on a 53-man roster anywhere else in the league.
And again, it's one of them things where you have to look at it and say, guess what? The receivers that we have, I'm sorry, but they still performed.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have a J-Mo. And Chalk wasn't there. And for somebody to say, well, Chalk was, no, he was not balling. He was not.
He played a good role. If you look at he had 30 catches in 11 games. That's 3 catches a game. Okay.
I mean, but see, I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying that, like, I can understand the other side of the people that say it's dumb to bring in Marvin Jones. You could just draft you a guy later. You know, I get it. I just for me,
but
if taking Marvin Jones means we don't draft the receiver at all, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look, I'm looking at it as this: they're signing these guys to throw off what they want to get in the draft, so that they could do whatever the fuck they want to. That I don't give a shit of who they're signing right now. It's not going to freaking matter. They need to address the shit in this draft, and that's it. If they don't, I'm going to lose my shit because they should have done it last year.
But you look
and
at
it pissed me off.
And Brad Holmes is already kind of like I said this, and this is the kind of deal, Val. When I get to the he doesn't give a shit about what we think type of deal, because he doesn't. He said this. He said this in the league in the owners, in the league's winter meetings the other day. He said he doesn't bring in a depth chart in the draft room. So he doesn't do that at all. He said he doesn't. He's not a person who drafts by position of need. He doesn't do that. Because a position of need drafter has his depth chart in the draft room. He said he doesn't do that.
I'm calling cap on him on that one though. I'm calling cap because he's completely drafted positions of need.
I understand. I get what you're saying. He has, but but he said he doesn't do that. So I don't know. Either they fell into his lap, the players of the need. But You look
Look,
at
he's playing the villain era. Look, he's gonna throw all kinds of shit to say all kinds of shit to throw you the fuck off. Look, I'm not going to tell you what my game is. If I'm walking into the draft as a GM, I'm not going to tell you what my game plan is. I'm going to sit there and tell you, yep, this is my game plan when it's not. I'm going to sit there and do all kinds of shit to throw you off the fucking chart.
I think what it is that he's just going to be like, hey, man, stay out my business.
And the sad part is, I feel like
it's none of your damn business what the fuck I'm doing. Okay, none of you.
I feel like if he's playing a villain, he's a stormtrooper, because I feel like he's just shooting. Because I feel like Dorsey. I feel like Dorsey is the one that's really doing a lot of the damage over there and saying, hey, this is where you probably should want to look at it like this. This is how you want to, because it's too many times they show those damn videos where he's impulsive and ready to trade up for people who clearly is coming towards us. So, I don't know this whole idea of the villain. Again, I don't think Brad Holmes is like the worst, but I'm hearing people crown him as the greatest. And when I look at our free agents that we add quality pieces to the offense. The defense to me is
Brad
where
Holmes is more like Gargamel, okay? He's more like Gargamel.
Listen, that's more bullyish. That's more bullyish. But I mean, like, I just look at it like at this point, people, enough is enough. I don't want to hear fire anybody this upcoming year. I don't want to hear fire Aaron Glenn. I don't want to hear fire Dan Campbell. I don't want to hear fire Ben. I don't want to hear none of that talk. I don't want to hear that. When hard times come, and there will be some, but we need to rise up. I don't want to hear fire these people, because you need to look at what the trend is, okay? And I don't want to hear that. And that's what made me start to talk more about Brad Holmes, because I was like, we want to fire a head coach who's an offensive-minded coach, who offense is number one in scoring. What the hell is going on? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but hey, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, man. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done this already, man. Thank you, everyone in the chat, man. The chat is going bananas today. Shout out to Dr. Detroit Raw Podcast, my man Michael Huck's in the building. Definitely Kim McWise in the house. We got so many people in the chat right now, and the chat is going bananas. George Eagles in the building. Michael Aday, Michael Huck, Paul Jarose, all the Detroit fan, man. All the people in the chat, man, we really appreciate you right here in Detroit Lions and the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. We're looking at the time, man. Oh my goodness, where did the hour go? Val, let's recap.
We accomplished a lot today. We had our mock draft, crazy mock draft, which
agency.
Luke had ESPN on.
He got the ESPN. Let's can we recap the mock draft one more time before we get out of here?
Okay, we're gonna recap the mock draft one more time. Let's see. I don't know if I got these in the same position now anymore. Okay. Let me get these guys. We didn't. Okay. This is how it went. Okay, we have Jack Campbell at number 6. Curt's selection, linebacker, because linebacker lives matter. Okay.
Yep.
We're gonna beat that horn to death. Luke selected Bijan Robinson, running back. We had Jalen Carter, defensive line. We have Christian Gonzalez, cornerback. We have Quentin Johnson, wide receiver, which this one, yeah. Brian Branch, safety, love it. Will Anderson, edge. I'm not sure about this one. And Jake Moody, kicker.
Moody.
Let's sweep that motherfucker right out the door. Anyhow, but
yeah, it was so much fun. Thank you guys for tuning in today. It was so much fun. Now it's time for final thoughts for today's show. Val, what do you got?
Thank you guys so much. We had thousands of votes this year for this mock draft, so I'm grateful to all of you for participating in this. Now we're focused draft heavy. I mean, the guys, Detroit Lions on the Prowl will be focused heavily on this upcoming draft, and we will have a live draft party again this year, where the gold members will be able to come on live with us to find out who the Lions are going to select this year. So lots of stuff, good stuff, comments. So thank you all for supporting us. We love you all. It's all love here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl.
Yeah, and Curt should be. I'll be on land this year, so I'll be. Y'all will be in the middle of the ocean this time. Well, thank you guys for checking us out right here. Detroit Lions are probably your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Make sure you check out my man Luke G over there on his channel, on Luke G's Field Review on his YouTube channel. Make sure you check out my man Micro Mike, who's usually here, and definitely Tim Becker. Maniac Tim over there at Maniac Sports on Facebook. So go check those guys out. And I thank you guys for joining us right here and all your support you kept giving us right here on this platform. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and become a member of the Wall of Fame. So all that stuff's in the description. All right, now it's time for my man to step to the pulpit. Luke G, talk to us, brother.
Hey, listen, this is so much fun. I always enjoy, coming on and spending time with you guys and talking to Pride Nation. It's therapeutic for me. Today's positive quote comes from me. The contribution of one can have great effect on the whole. The contribution of one can have great effect on the whole. This is a very quick and simple message right here, people. Continue to keep moving the universe around you. Whether you know it or not, what you are doing makes a difference. It's changing how things go. It's moving things in a direction that makes it better for somebody else. You didn't know that when you pulled up and let that person have that parking spot who was having a bad day, that was the first good thing that they got. But you moved the universe some type of way. You didn't know that when you grabbed that shopping cart and you handed it to the person behind you who probably didn't have the strength to pull it, but was too embarrassed to say it, that you made their day because you kept them modest. You didn't know that the person that you drove by and gave that little bit of change to or bought that food for, who probably sat there and said to themselves, this is going to be the only meal I'm going to have in the next few days, you made their day. Keep contributing to move the universe around you, and everything that you're supposed to have will come back to you. It is all within your power to be able to make the best of you come out when you're contributing to the universe around you. So as simply as put, the small contributions of one can make the most out of the entire whole. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. If you have not joined the family, what are you waiting for? May 1,000 centipedes run across your face. And if you did, I'm sorry. I was a little hungry and I've gone off that Fanta. I'm sorry. All right. And if you did, come and show some love to the video. Keep coming back. We got much more to bring. Y'all have a good one. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us right here on Detroit Lions. I'm probably your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Hey, as you go about your day, whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, bow out, and be the best version of you that you can be. But Luke G and the Queen, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.